Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of tonight's edition of Smackdown, which was from the Barclays Center tonight in Brooklyn. And if you haven't seen my previous video, I uploaded my vlog of when I went to Raw last night. Be sure to check that out. Got some good footage, clips of the stuff that I filmed, especially the beach ball. People were hitting beach balls there. It was crazy. So if you haven't seen the video, please go check it out. That's my previous video, uploaded today, so go check that out. Now, I thought tonight's Smackdown, I thought it was a good show, in my opinion. We had one superstar who made his main roster debut, which is really awesome. And we had one returning superstar that we haven't seen in a few years, which was awesome. But the show opened with AJ Styles coming out, welcoming the Brooklyn crowd to SmackDown, and he goes on to say how he beat Kevin Owens at SummerSlam. And he is reinstating the opening challenge for anybody to challenge him for the United States title. And Kevin Owens ends up coming out and says that, Styles did not beat him at SummerSlam and that, Shane screwed him in the match. And then Shane McMahon comes out addressing Owens that he did what, he was going to do, calling, the match down the line. And Styles, in Styles' match, he called it down the middle. And Owens says to Shane that, he did, if Shane saw, what happened, and he says, Shane says that Styles' foot was on the rope, so the decision is final. Shane says that, the decision, of course, stands, and, Owens is, bitching and complaining that, he wants the title. Styles ends up calling Owens, a whiny little bitch, which was funny. And they both want to do a rematch tonight for the United States title. And Owens wants a stipulation where, he picks who he wants, the referee to be in the match. And Shane says that, this is the last, chance that Owens will challenge for the U.S. title. So, but it was a good segment. It was a good opening segment. Really liked it. And then we see Daniel Bryan is backstage. The Singh brothers come and they introduce Jinder Mahal. Jinder calls Daniel a good thinker, and he tells him that he is an unstoppable champion. And then Daniel says to him that he only wins with help from the Singh brothers. And Daniel says that tonight the Singh brothers will face Nakamura, so it's a 2-on-1 handicap match. So it was a little segment with Daniel Bryan and Jinder Mahal. And then Kevin Owens, after that, Kevin Owens approached Sami. He wants, he's telling Sami if he wants to be the referee in the match tonight between him and Styles for the title. And he was like, and then Sami's like, oh, I watched your DVD, and all we've been doing is just fighting and going at it. There's a little segment with Owens and Sami. And then after that, Aiden English was in the ring. He was, boring us with his singing. And then from out of nowhere, awesome main roster debut. Bobby Roode makes his debut on the SmackDown roster, which this is the perfect show for him to go to. Because I thought that he would show up on Raw last night, but Bobby Roode being on SmackDown, really, really awesome. And yeah, you could possibly hear the thunder outside. It's raining over here. So, but really happy that Bobby Roode is on the SmackDown roster. Perfect show for him to be on. And of course, the first match led into the first match, which was Bobby Roode versus Aiden English. Good match for Bobby Roode's main roster debut. This Bobby Roode was just, dominating through the match, and he won the match with the DDT, the glorious DDT. So it was a good match, for Bobby Roode's debut. Even though he was going up against, a jobber. So, and he is a babyface now, and in NXT he was, the heel, but he lost the title this past Saturday at NXT Takeover Brooklyn to Drew McIntyre, and now he's on the SmackDown roster, and he's a babyface, and he's gonna go somewhere on the main roster. They're gonna give him some good competition, and it's the right show for him to be on. They'll use him a lot, so I'm really happy that he's on the SmackDown roster. And then Renee Young was interviewing him, and he says that he's glad Shane and Daniel made a good decision on bringing him to SmackDown, and he says SmackDown went from great to glorious. It was a cool little interview. So, and then after that, we saw Chad Gable and Daniel Bryan backstage. Daniel says that he made a deal with Kurt to take Jason Jordan because all this talk about Jason Jordan going to Raw. And Daniel introduces Chad to his new partner, Shelton Benjamin, who returns after after a few years of not being with the company. Really happy that Shelton Benjamin is back, and Daniel says that they will be in action next week, which is awesome. So it was a cool little, it was a very good segment. Really enjoy seeing Shelton Benjamin back. And then we see, Kevin Owens come back to Sammy, seeing if Sammy made up his mind on being the referee in the match tonight. And then Sammy declines being the referee. So there's that little segment there. Then we had the next match, which was the Usos versus the Hype Bros. Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder. It was a okay match. Not great or perfect though. Pretty much, the Usos were dominating. The Hype Bros were dominating some parts of the match. But the Usos got the win with the super kick. So they win the match. Then after the match, the Usos put the entire tag team division, on lock. Saying that they're coming after anybody and that, they're going to enter the Usos, what they always say, penetration, whatever they call it. So, but all in all, it was a okay match. Not great or perfect. And then the next match, it was Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Singh brothers, 2-on-1 handicap match. It was a pretty good match. Just for Nakamura alone. Nakamura was pretty much dominating. Jinder Mahal was out there at ringside, just watching the Singh brothers. Shinsuke Nakamura got the win with a triangle choke on one of the Singh brothers, which was cool. Then after the match, Jinder Mahal just then beats on Nakamura, and Nakamura gets up and he hits Jinder with the King Asha. So that was really cool. But all in all, my opinion, was a good match, just for Nakamura. And after that, we had Breezango. They were trying to offer to be, one that was trying to offer to be the referee in tonight's match for Owens and Styles. And what was really funny, Owens tells them to get lost. And then we see Baron Corbin, offering to be the ref. So Baron Corbin will be the ref in Styles and Owens match tonight. And then the next match, it was Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella. Natalya ends up coming out saying that, SummerSlam was the day the glow was, cooked when she won the SmackDown Women's title from Naomi. And she then quotes, Bret Hart's, famous quote, saying that she's the best there is, she's the best there was, and the best that, she will, the best, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. So that's what she said, quoting Bret Hart. And she says to Naomi, to get a clue of what a champion is, and that, it's Natalya's time to hold the title. Carmella ends up coming out saying that Natalya is on a watch, and when the time is right, she will be she'll be cashing in her contract for the title. So, down the line, Carmella, I wouldn't mind seeing Carmella as champion. I think that would be really cool. Then we had the match, Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella. And was a decent match. Wasn't great or perfect though, but was decent. We had Naomi hitting a springboard moonsault on Carmella. Before she hit that on Carmella, Becky Lynch did a Bexploder on Carmella. And that's what gave Naomi the chance to hit a springboard moonsault on her to win the match. So overall, it was a decent match, decent women's match. Then after that, we had Dolph being interviewed. Dolph saying that he's happy that he is back, and he's going to get back in the ring next week. He's just dreaming like, oh yeah, I could be the next this. I could have this, I could have that. That's what he was saying in the interview. Then after that, we saw Lana and Tamina in the locker room. Lana tells Tamina that her title training will come next week, and she's like, close your eyes, and picture yourself. Little locker room segment. Then after that, Baron Corbin tells Styles that if Owens wins tonight, Corbin wants a chance for the U.S. title. Styles says to Corbin that if he wins, he's having an open challenge every week, and Corbin must enter the open challenge. So there's a little thing with them. Then it was of course the main events: AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the United States title. Baron Corbin referee. Baron Corbin actually got new music to go with his Titantron, which I really liked. I thought it was really cool. But the match itself, I thought it was really good. Styles and Owens, going at it once again. Very entertaining. There's one point in the match where Owens pushed Styles into Corbin. Corbin and Styles were just bickering. Shane ends up coming out and gave Owens the advantage to pin Styles and hopefully win back the U.S. title. But Baron Corbin ended up telling Shane, I'm not doing this. And then Shane put on the referee shirt, and Shane just reffed for the last few minutes of the match. And Styles got the win with the phenomenal forearm to Kevin Owens. So Styles still retains the United States title. Good match. Really, really enjoyed it. So, yeah. So, anyways, that's it for my review of tonight's edition of SmackDown. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. And if you haven't seen if you haven't seen my previous video, which was the vlog when I went to Raw last night, go check that out. Stay tuned tomorrow night for my Lucha Underground review, which tomorrow's Lucha Underground is going to be awesome. We're going to find out who wins the Cueto Cup, and also Mundo versus Mysterio. That's going to be awesome. So can't wait for Lucha tomorrow. So until that review tomorrow night, I'll see you all back here tomorrow night. Bye.